Hello everyone, my name is Sean, and today I'm going to be affirming the policy that California should halt all plans to stop its high-speed rail system. I'm going to be doing this by my three main claims. My number one is my significance claim, which is California is spending too much money on a high-speed rail system. Number two is my inherency claim. The current policy is unreliable and unviable. And my third solvency claim is stopping construction plans will keep California from spending these large public funds. So moving on to my first claim, California is spending too much money on a high-speed rail system. If we look at the different evaluations that have been measured of this high-speed rail system over the past 10 or so years, you can clearly see that we're spending way too much money on this. Adam Brinklow, which is the associate editor of Curbed San Francisco, which is a San Francisco-based news website, says that California voters approved the high-speed rail in 2008 with 52.7% of the vote. At the time, the projected budget was a mere $40 billion. And to kind of tie that in, another article by Curbed SF, Matt Tinoco, which is a freelance journalist, he says that the fact that the train's projected costs had mushroomed from approximately $40 billion in 2008 to about $64 billion in 2016 means that a lot of people feel ripped off. And currently, actually, it's even higher than $64 billion. It's about $77 billion at current estimates. So we can clearly see that this is a lot of money, and we're also currently in debt, so this definitely doesn't help. Now, Tim Sheehan from Fresno B also notes that there's other incurring costs as opposed to just the main cost. So in 2013, when the California High-Speed Rail Authority awarded its first contract for construction of the bullet train route in Fresno and Madera counties, the cost to move AT&T, PG&E, and other utilities out of the way was estimated at about $25 million. So these are just to move like gas and power lines and other utilities. And now it's actually ballooned to nearly $400 million. So these are just other small costs that are associated with this construction. From The Economist, taking a little bit of a deeper analysis into it, even if you assume that the high-speed rail will have the same ridership as current air passenger traffic, and it charged the same fare, you're looking at a total of revenue of $1.54 billion a year. That wouldn't even service the interest that it would cost to from the debt that would be taken on by making this rail, let alone the operating cost and to fund a long-term equipment replacement reserve fund. So moving on to my second claim, the current policy is unreliable and unviable. Matt Tinoco, once again from Curbed SF, states that an unreleased Federal Rail Administration risk analysis from earlier this year said the project was running significantly over budget and behind schedule, which is according to the Los Angeles Times. And so this is kind of already known because the estimated dates of completion have been pushed back for plenty of years, approximately 10. And then Tim Sheehan, again from Fresno B, says that estimates have fluctuated, sometimes wildly. It's, in 2009, it was at $42.6 billion, taking inflation into account during development and construction, to $98.1 billion in late 2011, and then it even dipped down again to $68.4 billion in 2012 after a major retooling. So the price is all over the place. It's not reliable. You can't really trust any set number because it changes so much throughout the years. And then from the editorial, I also learned that there's currently an audit on California's on this project because of how inconsistent they've been. Calvin L. Scoble III, he's the Inspector General of the Department of Transportation. He's currently leading the audit that was initiated by the U.S. government of the state's over budget, behind schedule bullet train project. So there's another reason why it's unreliable. There's audits being placed into it. And then on to my third claim. Stopping construction plans will keep California from spending these large public funds. San Francisco Chronicle says that the state, meaning California, remains on shaky ground due to nearly $400 billion in unfunded liabilities and debt from public pensions, retiree health care, and bonds. So we're currently $400 billion roughly in debt, and to tag on another $80 billion it's not probably the best idea at the moment. We can use these funds for other reasons. From National Review, Chuck DeVore says that Jeff Denham, which is a representative of the Central Valley, says that the costs associated with this project continue to skyrocket, and at this rate, taxpayers will be left holding the bag on a project that will be outdated before it's even complete. And this is kind of important because Japan, for the last, it actually was kind of started around 50 years ago. They started creating their high-speed rail system. So by the time this is completed, and whatever date they eventually end up confirming that it's going to be completed, it's going to already be outdated, the technology. And actually just recently in the news, Elon Musk had a successful Hyperloop train, so there's that technology already on the rise as well. And then from Fox News, San Diego Councilman Mark Kersey says that the billions wasted on the project could have been invested in our current infrastructure needs, such as water storage, flood control, highways and bridges. Basically, we can be using this money towards much more pressing issues for infrastructure. And that's kind of the plan of action from this point, is that we want to finish up the current contracts that are going on to not void those of their jobs. But what we would like to do is, for future contracts, we want to place those people on more pressing issues that we can work them in, like the civil service, such as these things like water storage, flood control, highways and bridges. That'll eventually actually pay us back a little bit better than this training. That's all.